Hello and welcome, F1 race fans. We're here in Melbourne, Australia for Elite Aspect F1 25, start of qualifying. Q1 we are about to get into. So we've had our preseason testing, 2 sessions, 2 weekends, one in Bahrain, one in Spain. And we just had 3 free practice sessions here around Melbourne Park. Getting ready to begin the much anticipated qualifying sessions. If we want to look back here, FP1 times, the 2 racing bulls in the V-carbs there seem to dominated that session. FP2, same thing. That high 115 might be a mark that we see going pole here today. And then an FP3 just earlier, a little bit while ago. We see some different names up there, as I think in the first couple practice sessions maybe not everybody was going for a full qualifying run. Go ahead and look at our calendar moving forward. We're here in Australia this weekend, and we'll be moving to China, then Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, before we have our first sprint, I believe, at Miami for round 6. So round 1, here we are, just beginning here in Australia. Couple drivers starting to head out there. We're getting to that in just a minute, as it is 3 qualifying sessions here. So bottom 5 will be eliminated. Top 15 will move on. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all that plays out. But there's your driver lineups there. They were drafted by their team principals after preseason testing, where we had fantastic results, plenty of data. Again, we're doing this because this is a new game. Just checking in on something here. So yes, it is a new game. We are running no assists at all. So no line, no ABS, no traction control. And as we're starting to see drivers get out there, you might see a couple medium tire runners. I don't know why anybody would be in the intermediates. But that is true. He does have intermediate tires on. But I've seen that before where people just go out and test one and just, I don't know. Well, you'll see a bunch of softs, so let's get our lap datas up. And this is an AB Howard that is on a lap already. Going through turn 3 and 4. I'm doing a second push lap. Might see a lot of this, a couple extra warm-ups. Oh, I'm sorry, still got driver lineup up there, sorry. One of the favorites for pole here today is probably Marcos Almeida here. Well, it is on a very hot lap. Starting turn 13 there, 12 there. 2 turns 13. Keep it in. Burn the rest of your energy. Give me 16. 116.480 is the point set. And just going through some lots of invalidations out there. I thought that was the fastest first sector there. Don Raphael coming around. Gonna draw out a yellow flag there, but able to get back up and going quickly. The Legion might be on a lap here. Nine and 10. Cut a little bit of that corner. We've seen that in pre-practice. You can get away with a little bit there. Not quite a 116, a 117, 151. Second time on the board. Everybody else just kind of tipping over each other a little bit, and also doing 2 out laps, kind of. Doing an extra warm-up. I was trying to frigate 3360, who was a standout in preseason testing. Mounting turn 14, close to the wall. We'll do a 116.599. MDJ on the mediums did a 118. Again, these laps are counting for some drivers. King Kong is not on a lap. Rosen sliding out there, turn 1 and 2. Got yellow lights here. With a good first sector on the sauce, first run. As you see, Marcos now drops that to a 116.372. But Young Lights has a purple sector here. I'm not sure. Not too much. It's out of the car a little bit, but that wasn't bad. New turn 12. A little bit of a let off. Move over to the other side. And set yourself up. Hold on to your butts because you're going to be close to that wall. It's a 116.652 moving up to third here. Plenty of time left in Q1. Plenty of drivers need to get on the board though. Oakmasters had a fastest sector there, but unfortunately Rosen coming across the line. Looks like it might be starting a lap. Yeah. Rosen's starting a lap. It kept the foot in there. That will invalidate it, but it doesn't look like it did, so may still be pushing on here in the Williams. Oh, a little wide there. Through turn 8. Downshift to 7th. Got a little too much of that. So that's going to invalidate that lap. Why is it the furthest one away? Purple first sector from Fogmasters. Not a lot of energy left on this lap. Lots of invalidations out there. It's gonna make or break the game. And on mediums is Math, but Patate. A very long name to say. Math it is. Mark up 1, 16.3 on the board. 119 for hit wall there. Fast driver still waiting in the wing here. We've got Animator on a hot lap. Not on board with the Ferrari here. Turns 1 and 2. Not too much traffic, well, there will be a little bit coming up. Hopefully be able to navigate it through the long back straight here. Turn 5. Try to get 6 right. That looked really good. Driver's out of the way. DRS open, able to push 202, 203. Pretty tidy through there, but the exit wasn't great from 10. Just navigate 11 and 12. Had to back out a little bit, it would have gotten wide, so cost a tenth or two there. Not a fantastic final sector, but going to cross the line with a 1:16.8, moving up to 5th. 7 minutes left in this qualifying session 1. Driver's not on the board yet. Edwards on a lap. Some drivers will probably try to save their tires if they feel like they've got a time that will keep them in the top 15. Running on the house of Abe Edward here. Couple drivers on outlaps. Lots of drivers in the pits right now. So maybe behoove drivers to get out there. That's not going to be a lap, sorry. Alberto needs to put in a lap. Should be on a good one here. Seen this driver put in some really good times. Able to keep it in the white lines there through 5 and 6. I mean 6 and 7. Round turn 8. That DRS open. Use the battery. 401. Purple sector, that didn't invalidate it. He's on for a pretty good time here. 1:15.845. O&B Alberto sets the mark. Lots of drivers in the pits. Looks like Don Raphael was maybe trying to think about improving. Lots of drivers on outlaps too. Oakmaster still trying to get a time in. This one's gonna have to do. They have time to get around to go out again, but a 1:16 nope, a 1:17.288 puts him in 9th. So free from the drop at the moment. As King Kong, A.B. Edward, and Harrison have not put in laps yet. Both on outlaps. King Kong in the pits. Frozen on an outlap. Math at risk as well. He's on a lap, it looks like. First sector, almost 3/10 down, so needs to pick up the pace here through the second and third sector to see if they can improve. Long run invalidation. That was the fastest sector though, so can't invalidate. Gotta get these times on the board, gentlemen. I think that should be coming in. Alright, Pokemaster's coming in. Poison, Hit, Wall, and Math have all have invalidation, so we'll be starting a lap. Math into the pits. Hit Wall might be starting a lap. Let's check out the Sauber of Harrison. He needs to get a time on the board. Stayed in the pits. Decided to come out, maybe run only one run. That's the fastest first sector. Put the timing board down, there's only a few drivers out there. Yeah, they turned into 13. On the power, set up 14. Good exit. Watch for the wall. This looks like a pretty good time. 115.712 takes him top. Abe Edwards slowly up to third. Lots of drivers in the pits, lots of drivers on outlaps. Poison Harbor hit wall. Another invalidation, so needs to improve now. Poison Harbor looking to improve. Does so with a 117.638 out of the drop zone for now. MDJ, Hitwall, Math, Frozen, and King Kong all at risk. King Kong's got some traffic to deal with in front. Not a bad first sector. Maybe a little bit of slipstream. Watch out, drivers. Fast drive on track. Able to keep it in there. Might have lost a couple tenths. Getting a little bit of a slipstream, it looks like. Out of the way. Very nice. .118.9 moves up to 17th, not out of the drop zone. DJ starting a lap, gotta get one in. Most of the drivers up top are not at risk. Not seeing any movement. I think all the drivers are on their final lap here. Might be a couple drivers coming in. There's one with MDJ on a hot lap. Almost half a second up on the best. Gonna need that. And a little bit of a slipstream from the Alpine in front there. But we'll appreciate that. Purple sector looked like. Buzz might be in front on a hot lap. He's a little lap going here. Oh, lost the rear end. That's going to cost us a couple tenths. Think we'll still be safe. Up to 12th with 117.511. Into the pits. An invalidation. Well, that's going to do it for Q1. So that'll be Bluzz, King Kong, Hitwall, Math, and Frozen out in Q1. Will not make it to Q2. Saw some really fast times there, 115.7, 115.8 by Harrison and Alberto. Edward came on strong. Mark set up a really fast time early. And as Marcos, Frigate, and Young Lights, they will round out top 7. Then we have Animator, X-Joe, Legion, Folkmasters, MDJ, Don Raphael, iLinks Peace, and Poison Harbor making it into Q2, excuse me. That's 2 seconds separating the top 15. One second separating the top 7. Top 2, I believe we'll see Marcos up there as well. Marks, AB, I believe all these drivers will improve. So the idea is just to get out of Q1 into Q2. Now we'll have 15 drivers out there with 15 minutes instead of 18 minutes to put their fastest times on the board, or at least get into the top 10 is what we want. As we're here in Elite Aspect F125, qualifying for round 1 of the Australian Grand Prix. As you see some driver lineups there. A couple guys missing today. Q2 beginning now. As we look at the calendar before drivers pull out of the garage to start their fast laps here in qualifying. As we're starting off in Australia, race tomorrow, and then we'll move on to China for the second round of the Elite Aspect 25 season. As drivers just really getting out there, only 2 really out there so far. Most of the drivers still in the pits. We'll see them slowly make their way on track. Those are your top 15. Both Haas made it through, both McLarens made it through, both Alpines made it through, one Aston Martin made it through, both V-Carbs made it through, one Red Bull made it through, one Williams made it through, one Sauber made it through, looks like one Mercedes made it through. As drivers taking 2. Looks like Folkmasters will be the first one to try to put in a lap here. A little less traffic out there now with the only 15 drivers, but at the same time, in spots this track can get a little bunched up. So here we are with a ride on board. Folkmasters in the Haas, starting the first fast lap of the session. Should be good on traffic. Don't cut too much of the corner 1 out of turn 2. DRS zone, it runs down to turn 3 here. Through turn 4, move over to the left, open up 5, flat out. Careful with 6 and 7, don't go too far out there to invalidate the lap. It happens here frequently. Very under control Folkmasters here. Open that battery, open that DRS, make the run down to turn 9. And then let up a little bit there, look like. That'll cost 10. Probably 2. Car slowed down and turn in for 11 there. They've opened up 12. Next Apex out of 13, set up for 14. And 17.433 is the first time on the board. Lots of invalidations back there. Who's about to be on a lap here? Is that a Red Bull or a V-Carb? I can't find it. There it is. Alberto on the softs, already involved in this lap. So he's putting a lap. I'm sure we'll see some laps in between here drop. Oh, that's some traffic. Yeah, wow. I'll have to pay attention to that. And the drivers around. Animator out of the pits on a hot lap. Marcos Almeida, I think, doing a second push, slow lap, build lap, whatever we call them. I don't believe that is a fast lap high though. Brigham is on one here. That's the second sector. Had a pretty well. I mean, 11 there. 312. It slowed down to 13. We'll be off a pretty decent lap here. 16.576. Legion did the 17.1. Pokemesh still with the 17.43 was the first one across the line. Poison Harbor up there with an 18.352. Young Light's on an invalidated lap. Mark, F1, let's check him out. In the Mercedes. On a fast lap here. Through turn 6 and 7, round turn 8 here. Downshift to 6 there. Might have worked. Very nice out of 11 and 12 there. Stick the final 2. This could be a really good time. One 16.215 takes over provisional pole here, but of course this is only Q2. I believe Lynx will be on another lap as well. Anyone finishing up a lap? We've got MDJ. Raphael with a 5-place grid penalty. No, it's X-Show with a 5-place grid penalty, excuse me. MDJ sets a 1:17.408, moving into top 5. Not sure what happened there. All right, Marcos. I'm burning a ton of energy there. Now is. That was close, looked very, very cool. Thank you for getting out of the way. 202, can we get to 203? That might be the fastest in the speed trap. Won't cut too much corner. Very nicely done through there. This could be a special lap. Just we're only here in Q2 for Elite Aspect F125, round 1, Australia. On Melbourne Park here. Let off a little bit through 12. Finishing up the lap here. A little bit of a slipstream in front too, which could help. 116.131 is, oh wow, how did I miss Alberto do the one? I thought he had an invalidation. But the decarb's on top again. Five minutes left here in Q2. Funkmaster's just trying to improve a little bit if he can. How are those tires looking? Islam with a 116.560 moving up to 4th, so that'll pretty much keep him safe. Legion on an out lap. We'll start one soon. Abe has not put a time on the board. Young Lights, check in on them, because they have purpled the second sector, the middle sector it looks like. Finishing up the lap. Thinking this one might be top 5. 116.371 puts him fourth. There's Edward here attempting a fast lap. Needs to get a time on the board. Both XJoe and Don Raphael are out of this session. Harrison Holmes yet to put on a lap. Looks like it is to be on one, just started one. But not pushing too much here is XJoe, so there's Harrison. Good first sector. Couple drivers coming out. We'll be putting laps in here in just a moment. Nice second sector there for Harrison. Just keep it. Not much further to go. This is going to be a pretty good lap. 115.353 to go top. What do we have on laps? Legion. Highlinks. About to start a lap. Again, top 10 move on. 11 through 15 are eliminated. We've already lost XJoe and Don Raphael. At risk are Poison Harbor, Highlinks, Peace, and Abe Edward. MDJ, of course, probably at risk a little bit as well. So we should see them putting on more runs. We'll check out Lynx here, especially coming through Sector 1. Half a second up. Looking at DRS. Definitely on the rear coming out of 12 there. 213, not 14. Might be an improvement. Is it enough? No, up to 11. Frigate might be on a lap as well. Don't know if they'll need to improve. Poison Harbor needs to improve. They're rounding down the seconds of Q2. Maybe he's now just starting the lap. Yes. It will be the last one across. This will probably be it for Marcos. Did get it in the 115s. Don't know if Marcos is going to be pushing here. Why risk it? Frigate starting a lap. Who do we need to watch here? Poison Harbor's invalidated, so is I-Link. They're done. MDJ needs to improve. Well, yeah, Abe Edward could definitely throw a wrench in this. Moves up to 7th, puts MDJ at risk. MDJ crosses the line, improves, but not enough, by enough, to break into the top 10. Poison Harbor's on an invalidated lap. Marcos just invalidated as well. And wasn't on a hot lap either. So that's going to do it for Q2. That'll be MDJ, I-Links, Peace, Poison Harbor, X-Joe, and Don Rafael eliminated. We'll probably have some talking points about X-Joe and Don Rafael incident that happened here in Q2. But that's going to wrap that up for Q2 here for Elite Aspect F1 25. Just getting into the season, round 1 around Melbourne Park here in Australia. We'll have the race coming at you 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Or 100% race, no assists. As there are your top 10. So the 5 that were eliminated from this session and the top 10, all separated by 1.2 seconds. So I know we can see more from Folkmasters and Frigate and Animator, I'm pretty sure. So with only 10 drivers out on track going in here to Q3, I believe we'll have a better, not as much traffic. Drivers will be able to be a little more free. As again, Elite Aspect F1 25. Starting the season here in Australia around Melbourne Park. We did 3 practice sessions earlier. We're in qualifying now, so Q3 coming up. Folkmasters Abe Edward, the 2 Haas. Alberto and Marcos Olmedo, the 2 V-Carbs. Young Lights in the Alpine, Animator and Legion both in the Ferraris. Harrison and the Kick Sauber made it through, and Marks in the Mercedes made it through. So 10 drivers out, 10 drivers left. It's all points shootout to who's going to start the race on the front rows tomorrow. We'll pop up the season calendar again, pretty much the same as F1. We'll start the season here in Australia, ended in Abu Dhabi in early December. This driver lineup is what pretty much we're rolling with. You've got some substitutes in there for this and some other drivers that have changed before we started the season. So we'll make adjustments there, but those should be the most of the drivers that you'll see racing out here. As looks like Harrison Holmes and Marcos Olmedo are racing already. I'm just kidding. On their build laps before starting some fast laps here. So it does look like it's Marcos who's going to set the time first. setting up for a hot run here. Nope, into the pits. Well, maybe Harrison will be the first one to put a time on the board. Yes. Alberto behind. Animator. And then Mark, I believe. Oh, it's Young Lights. Let's run on board with Harrison here. Making his way down into turn 6 and 7. Kept it within the white lines. Oh no, and that's an invalidation. That's probably going to catch a few drivers out. We'll be coming into the pits. Berto will be putting the first fast lap on the board with a 1:15.357. That's a statement of intent. As we'll check in with Folk Masters here. A little bit wide coming out. Oh, no, setting up a lap. Okay. I'm clearing the Frigate has an invalidated lap. Ferrari of Legion finishing up his first hot lap. A little bit of a lock up in the 13. And we're in one to come around there, able to control it, but it's going to cost a couple tenths here at the end. But this might not be a bad time, as that's a 1:16.440. Young Lights at a 1:16.126. I'm sorry I missed that one. The Animator doing a 4.94, and Folk Masters, that time is not representative. Finishing up a lap here with Mark F1. Could be a pretty good one. Looks like it might be. Top 4 at least. Oh yeah, with 1:16.138. We'll get down on the second push lap, had an invalidated one on the first try. See a Ferrari and an Alpine in the coming up to the pit lane. It does look like. I think everybody will be doing that. Putting on a set of salts are going out one more time. Dave Edwards with a 1:15.731. Going on board the second highest of Folk Masters here. This is going to move up. 1:16.676. Bring it into the pits. Harrison on an out lap. Almeida looks like he's finishing up a lap here, Marcos. And it looks to be a pretty good one. First lap one, 1:15.8 puts third. Mark should be coming into the pits. Folk Masters is on a... I think he's just pushing to get back around. Three turns 1 and 2. Harrison. Then the kick Sauber. Pushing down to turn 3. Needs to get a time on the board. Finish up the first sector, 126 flat. Oh, that was close. That was the purple first sector. I don't know that that means that it's his fastest or fastest of everybody's, but it seems to change. Going through 9 and 10, don't cut too much of the corner, and to let off a little bit because you can't go wide there either. Purple second sector. 1:15.357 provisional pole at the moment by OMV Alberto in a V car. This is going to be close. (1:15.310) to take top spot away. All the other drivers into the pits. As we're going to finish up Q3 here for our first round here in Australia for Elite Aspect F125. 4 minutes left to go. Everybody in the pits. Harrison going to make his way back around. May not do another one. I'm not sure. May have to. With only less than 0.05 of a second separating 1 and 2 right now. With Frigate gambling, unable to get a time on the board in the first runs. As it is Marcos Mato. First out of the pits will be the first to cross the line, unless has enough time that if he's pushing and has an invalidation, can back off and maybe try again. So smart move. I think Frigate doing the same. Let's go ahead and go. That way I have backup lap if I need it. Problem is if you invalidate right at the end. So we'll be Marcos here in the V car. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. And as we're starting to see a couple more drivers get out on track, as we got Marcos about to begin. Frigate behind. Young Lights and Harrison will be the next. Gonna come up to some traffic then. Yeah, as he's pushing down the DRS straight to turn 3. Let's hope the two drivers realize he's on a fast lap and not a push build lap. A little bit of the rear end out of 4 into turn 5. Young Lights out of the way on an out lap. And as Marcos Olmedo is pushing hard. 203, 204, I think I saw a tip. Oh, barely hung in there. Four drivers sub 116 already. This could be an improvement on the 115.806. Could move him up to cross line with the 114.456, moves up to 3rd. Frigate has an invalidation, so needs to get across in the next minute. Looks fine. As Young Lights has started a lap, Harrison has started a lap. Harrison has not started a lap. Needs to get around then, or has. Go up to Harrison, who has an invalidation. Young Lights looking for an improvement. Currently fit. It's better by half a tenth through the second sector. Back with young lights. Who turns 13, now 14. A little bit of a wobble coming out of 14 there. That's gonna... Can this be a sub 116? Doesn't look like a 116.217. Not an improvement. Here's the Haas coming across the line. 115.537, Abe Edward 4. Wearing a friggin' 3360. Pretty much the first time on the board. No time. That was invalidated? Animator comes across line 116.135 with an improvement. A validation for Mark Legion, the only one that can better their time now. $115.944 puts him fifth. So that's going to do it for qualifying here for Elite Aspect F1, Melbourne Park, Australia, round 1 of the season. Just getting started, just getting underway. You'll see the top 10 in there of the drivers that we've had finish up. That'll be the starting of the top 10. Of course, we had some other drivers that did not make it into Q2 or Q3, and you'll see them lined up 11th through 20th on the grid tomorrow morning. But look at those fast drivers at the top. Only 2.5 tenths separating the top 4 there. Very, very interesting. That's going to do it for this qualifying session here for Elite Aspect F1 25. I'm Fabregas115 signing off. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow with us for the 100% no assist race around Melbourne Park in Australia for round 1 of Elite Aspect F1 25.